With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Thanks for joining us once again here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, back at it, trackside. It's the second annual Detroit Grand Prix here with the iSplash Retro Kart Series. These Lotus 79 open wheel machines never disappoint, whether we're on the road course We're at the big tracks, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Last week, we seen a first-time winner here with the Ice Splash Retro Kart Series. Rick Raven went to Victory Lane, not at the track with us here this week. We wish him well and hope we see him back again next weekend. But first, let's dive right on into it. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land? Race fans, glad you could all join us here tonight. Dave of the Cave with all the calls trackside. As always, we've got great open wheel action coming at you here. 35 laps around this 2.3 mile twisting, turning, technical, close quarters road course track, Detroit Grand Prix. Belle Island gonna put on a show, and we're gonna get ready to go trackside here. Why don't you, let's go show that beautiful fountain down in the middle of the track there. You can see great scenery here at Belle Island. Let's get to some of those qualifying standings though. Popping over there to the left-hand side of your screen, there you can see sitting top of the speed charts. Quick time here in qualifying belongs to George Sandman, a 1:19.94. Just about a tenth faster. Almost 2/10 there. Marcellus Bruning sitting back in that blonde bullet number 61 machine in second. Johnny Hamby, quick as usual. There's that 15, rounding out your podium drivers here and qualifying. Christopher Hamling, a little down in the speed charts right now, inside of your top 10, but only 9th. As the music fades, you can see the time ticking away. Drivers are only going to have about one, possibly two more chances, two more opportunities to try to dethrone the man at the top of the speed charts. George Sandman sitting there with almost a 2/10 of a second advantage. And really, you know, over the course of this road course, 14 corner, 15 if you count that final little kink before you come around to the start-finish line. 2/10 isn't hard to find. It's out there. It can definitely be made up, but with that being said, with Bruning pushing it another 2/10, I'm sure Sandman may have a 10th or two in his back pocket as well. Clean up a corner or two, possibly even that tough little right-hander right at the tail end of the track. Tell you what, I do believe that's going to end up being turn 13. And actually, it's turn number 12. We apologize. Turn number 12. You can see it just past that Music City Casino Hotel sign. Coming up out around that corner. It's a right-hander. It's pretty quick, pretty deceiving. You got a short little stretch, a burst of throttle. And, well, there you go. Trouble. Told you. There's the corner. There's the trouble. Coined Graham corner here at the Turn 3 Racing Network. And you got to be careful not to lock it up and spin it, as we've seen right there. And very easy to put it in that outside concrete jersey barrier. Very, very easy to run that line just a little bit wider than what it should be. You feel like you got the room, and then just all of a sudden those left side tires into that outside wall, and it's going to spell trouble from there. Just about 5 minutes now remaining here in qualifying to see who will take the top spot. George Sandman out on another flying lap. He is your pole sitter. A 1:19.94 is the fast time here in qualifying, and he's going to pick it up just a little bit more. Our timing and scoring now showing a 19:89. So going even quicker, and there you can see already updating with that 2.4 or 0.24 advantage. So finding about a 10th is Sandman. Bruning unable to find any more pace out of his 61 machine. He's going to stay slotted second right now. We'll take a look around the track at a few more of these corners here. Let's see if we can't see some action down in turn number 3. Quiet is the long run down into turn number 3. And a little bit of it's an awkward little start-finish line here. To be honest, this being turn number 3, you'll cross the start-finish line, come into a quick, I believe that is a left. Yes, it is a left and then a right, and then down here into this, no, it's a right then a left. That's one of the two. Down into turn number 3 here. There you can see drivers on the brakes. Pretty easy corner here is turn number 3. Very quick speeds, upwards of 155 miles an hour coming into the corner and only slowing to about 60 miles an hour or so. So, I mean, yeah, that's a 100-mile-an-hour decrease in the speed, but can you imagine taking a corner that quickly? I mean, some people struggle to do 60 on the freeway here in the States, and these guys out here pulling almost 90-degree corners at 60-plus miles an hour. It's going to be hot and heavy barn burner of a race tonight. Oh, missing the corner a little bit, and there you can see, I believe that was the 2 of Austin Dabbs. Yes, it was Austin Dabbs and that big K, number 2. Gonna miss the corner, head back to the pits and reset. Possibly go out for one final attempt, but it's gonna be close for him to really get in that quick time. He's on his up to speed lap, the flying lap coming here from Dabbs, but we'll see if he's able to even turn in another time lap. Let's go, I'll tell you what, let's go into the final corner. There it is, around that slight right-hander, right before the start-finish line. Corner that's just in these machines you're maybe full throttle. I know in some of the higher horsepower open wheel machines you got to give a little blip of the throttle, not a full lift, but just a little twitch of the toe to keep the car glued to the track and make it through the final corner. Tell you what, let's take a look down pit lane real quick. There you can see a handful of drivers in their pit box. That Texaco Big K, the Big K. Kmart throwing back some memories there, I bet you. Does anybody out there in the audience, does anybody joining us here tonight, all the fans in the stands, does anybody remember the Kmart catalog? Do you remember looking at those, looking through the toy sections around Christmas time, hoping that when you went to see Santa Claus there, probably over in Sears, which was pretty close by? Man, I'm getting too deep into my age limits right there. That shows it for sure. But nonetheless, just a handful of minutes left here in qualifying. About a minute and a half here. We'll see if anybody else can lay down a time lap quick enough to dethrone your pole sitter right now. George Sandman, top of the speed charts. The 06 Lotus 79 machine piloted by Sandman, going to turn in a fast lap. 1:19.89 is the time. And a bit of a gap back from Bruning to Hamby. Just about a half a second. Hamby with a half a second over Cody Hundley. And then big gaps back from Hundley to Walker Kerr. Dabbs, Smitham struggling a little bit here tonight. Christopher Hamlick not running a qualifying lap. That's a little something interesting right there. Only about 30 seconds now. And Hamlick not even going to lay down a fast time here in qualifying. Look for some big moves out of the 82 to make his way back up through the field. So, with that being said, qualifying coming to a close. George Sandman will sit on the pole position as we head trackside for your national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof
And rejoining you high above the track here with the turn 3 blimp. Getting some great aerial coverage of tonight's main event here at Belle Island, the Detroit Grand Prix for the iSplash Retro Kart Series. Multiple drivers looking for their first checkered flag. Will we see a fresh face once again to victory lane? 3 races into season number 2, and we've had 3 separate winners. Will we see a fourth, or could Johnny Hamby or Marcellus Bruning put it into victory lane for a second time this season? Fresh face on pole. Lots of speed out of the 06. We'll jump into your running order here in just a moment. We're going to move closer to the track. Drivers are going to get set to roll into action. There you can see a lot of them already lined up behind that iRacing Mustang pace car as the familiar bells ring in the background. You know the sounds. You know it's time to run down tonight's starting lineup for the Detroit Grand Prix, your second annual race here at Belle Island. Snatching the pole position, walking away with the top spot, he'll bring him to the green flag, the 06 of George Sandman. Marcellus Bruning in the 61 Blonde Bullet Machine will start just to his outside. Row number 2 here tonight from Belle Island, the 15 of Johnny Hamby, followed by the 19 of Liam Kerr. Cody Hundley, Joe Walker, rounding out row number 3. Back inside row number 4, the 2 of Austin Dabbs. The Carolina Classic 55 of Bill Smitham will start in that 8th position. Christopher Hamlink, Kim Quick, back in row number 5, and rounding out your top 10 there, you can find tail end of the field here for the Detroit Grand Prix, the 80 of Douglas Small. And, well, there I am, representing Turn 3 Racing Network and Darkside Motorsports, the 00. That's me, Dave in the Cave, here, trackside, but not on track. Apparently, the transponder in the cutaway car not turned off. And, well, looks like I'm credited with a start, so we'll roll with it. You know what I mean? Drivers in gear, ready to roll, coming through turns 12, 13. Will come around the final corner, and the pace car will duck off. There it goes. Let's go racing at Belle Island. Green flag flies. On the gas, up through the gears. Sandman through the first corner. First little S chicane. Everybody navigating through there. No problems, no issues for anybody. No changes of positions right now. Everybody remains right where they started tonight's race. Some stragglers in the back having a little bit of trouble getting going. There was Liam Kerr, the 19, going to drop 4 positions on the start of this race. He's going to drop from 4th to 8th. So heading the wrong direction early here tonight from Belle Island is that number 4 machine. Sandman with about a half a second advantage, and as we close in on the tail end of lap number 1, we'll get some of the timing and scoring up there to the left-hand side of your screen in just a few moments. Drivers making their way through turns 9, 10. Clean through turn number 11 up to turn number 12 here, and this is that quick right-hander we were talking about. There it is. Then looks like race leader clean and clear through it. Turn 13, no problem. Come through the final kink of the racetrack and lead the lap number 1 from the pole position. Your race leader, George Sandman, top of the speed charts, and he's going to keep it right there. Advantage beginning to build, as it looks like some drivers having a little bit of trouble the back end of the pack. We'll take a look around here. We'll see if we can't find what happened, what took place. We'll take a look at what went down with Joe Walker real quick. And we're A little bit behind in the trees there, so not going to be able to see a different camera angle. Let's see what happened here. Oh, tire's going to lock him. Noses it into that tire barrier. Fortunately enough for Walker, no damage to the front end. We'll have to see if the steering was able to make its way through that without any issues. Meanwhile, back at the front of this field, George Sandman continuing to lead this race. Calm, cool, collected at the front. 1 second advantage for Sandman. Pit stops are definitely going to throw the field for a little bit of a loop here. I know the tires at Belle Island, you can get a pretty good distance on the tires, so will we see drivers really stretch this thing on the fuel mileage side, or will we see anybody pretty much just knock it right in half, right around that 16, 17 laps in? Will we see drivers coming to pit road, or possibly as early as lap 10? Back through the field, battle for position. Let's roll back here. 3 drivers nose to tail. Closest battles on the track right here. Christopher Hamling, Bill Smitham, Liam Kerr, all nose to tail. There you can see Kerr on the tail end of Smitham. He's going to look to his high side here. Going to go the long way. No, he'll complete the pass down into turn number 3. Long straightaway with a little bit of help from some draft, and the 19 of Kerr is going to take a position away. Here he goes once again, now looking for a spot on Christopher Hamlink. Will go on board now with the newcomer. Kerr getting the job done. Take a ride here with this 19. Oh, sliding through the corner is Hamlink. Kerr almost into his gearbox. They're going to keep it clean through the back chicane section, and there you go. Hamlink going to pull over, and that's going to give the position to Kerr. Kerr with a great run here. We'll take a look back off of the tail end. Just under that rear wing, there you can see battle starting to develop between Hamlink and Smitham, as Smitham has closed in. A little bit of a tough break there for a moment for Hamlink through that chicane section, as things starting to heat up a little bit at the front once again. Let's go back up here. Bruning beginning to reel in. Your race leader, George Sandman, has Sandman pushed those tires a little bit too soon. A little too much too soon. All over his gearbox now, man. Check this out. Bruning wants the race lead. And it looks like that particular camera angle, I guess the trees don't like it. Bruning smooth in pursuit of the top spot. Started second, still running second here at the tail end of lap number 4. How much patience will Bruning have? He's going to eat up some of those tires in the dirty air. It's going to force a little more tire wear on that 61 machine. How willing is he going to be to stay behind him for how long? We'll have to wait to see how it all unfolds there through turn number 2, down the long stretch to the right hand. Turn number 3. Johnny Hamby losing touch with your top 2. Over a 2-second disadvantage for Hamby. And that's just to the tail end of Marcellus Bruning. So, man. Gonna take a look now. I tell you what, let's take a look back and a look inside of your pole sitter's machine. The man putting in work at the front. Look at those hands working the wheel. George Sandman with a great run so far here tonight. He continues to lead the Detroit Grand Prix on board over right-hand shoulder camera view. Big shout out to all of the teams and drivers for allowing us to affix multiple small GoPro cameras here to get these great action shots all throughout the course of tonight's race. Quick laps being turned in by everybody at the front of the field, and there's that gap beginning to build once again. Marcellus Bruning now down to 3/4 of a second behind. Had it closed in to just about 3/10, so giving up some time over the course of the past 4 laps. Bruning gonna fade from your race lead. Back outside the car, still battling for that spot. Bruning may be able to force a mental mistake out of your race leader and possibly take a position, but let's talk about this guy right here. He's been making some moves. The 19 of Liam Kerr by far has passed the most drivers. The bad thing for Kerr is he's passing these drivers just trying to get back where he started from tonight. He's going to take a position away from Austin Dabbs and now move back to a top 5 position, looking for one more spot to get back to where he qualified here tonight. Kerr with a big loss on the initial lap of tonight's race. Going to drop 4 positions on the opening lap and slowly but surely begin to reel these guys back in. He's got a bit of a way to go to catch up to get to Hundley, but still on the charge as it looks like Bill Smitham with some issues. Smitham, a little bit of problem as Kerr steps away from Dabbs. We're going to step away to a replay. Let's go check out and see what happened to this 55. I'm jumping the curb on that left-hand side. He's going to spin it and snaking through. Christopher Hamlin going to get by without any incidents and make his way around for the position. Meanwhile, we'll head back up front. Here's Liam Kerr rounding out your top 5 as Austin Dabbs all ready to pit lane. Austin Dabbs going to come to pit road all ready for his first time stop in what should possibly be his only stop of tonight's race. Talk about an undercut. He's going to have some fresher tires, and he's going to have some clean air, but just how fast can he go without any pressure, without any worries? Because for this undercut to work, he is going to have to be on it. Fastest lap of the race being turned in by your race leader last time around a 1:20.33, so a little bit off of that qualifying pace, but still definitely laying down some burners here front of the field. George Sandman continuing to show the way. Marcellus Bruning still trying to reel him in, but just not quite able to get there. Your top 2 will continue to race back down into turn number 3, looking for the position, but not able to gather it up just yet. Bruning sits in second, long ways back to Johnny Hamby. 3.8 seconds back from Bruning to Hamby. So there you can see already the pace that these top 2 drivers have. Just absolutely phenomenal. Both drivers within 0.2 of a second last time around. Bruning giving up a little bit of time here later in the run. We'll see if he's maybe saving a little bit of tires to get through some of the graining that possibly is already going on. I know the rears on these cars very tough to keep underneath you with old tires. Very tough to keep the grip in the car overall once you reach right around that lap 10 mark. So we'll just have to wait to see how that all fares and how that all goes. And oh no, the man that was on the move has had some trouble, having some issues, having some problems. The 19 was on a charge, and he is now on pit lane. Let's go check out what happened to Kerr. Coming through, I believe that's going to be, yes it is. Ooh. That was turn number 7. He's going to have lots of problems. The car going to get all sorts of tail happy. A few tail slaps and nowhere to go. Can't get the car stopped in time and noses it into the inside tire barrier. Going to rip the clip right off of the front of that thing, and that's going to send Kerr to pit lane. Will he be able to get that repaired and back out on track? Still a long way to go to find out. Lap number 10 going to go on the board next time around. We'll see how these drivers go. We'll see how they fare. And we'll continue to lay down these fast times at the front. The only man that's been able to keep up here tonight, Marcellus Bruning, sitting in second, hounding your race leader all in his mirror. Not a lot of pressure, but I can guarantee you Sandman knows he's there. Take a look off of the tail end. Another great camera shot here. We've got a few of them for you tonight, so why don't we ride along board with your race leader. There's a little look off of the left-hand side of the car, looking back at that left rear. You can see the suspension and shocks working here tonight on board of this 06 machine. We'll move to the 55 of Bill Smitham, carrying another one of our left side on-board cameras. We do appreciate both of these drivers allowing us to put these cameras on the cars. We'll jump back outside of the race car here. There you can see Hamlink in the background, slowly trying to gain some time on Smitham. Look for that to be a battle once they hit pit lane. And Austin Dabbs with the early pit stops has trouble. Issues compounding themselves tonight for a handful of drivers. Liam Kerr with trouble twice here tonight. Also, Austin Dabbs going to have some trouble, and he's going to be back on pit lane. We'll see if either of those drivers are able to get back out on track. Meanwhile, we've still got 8 drivers on the lead lap here with the Detroit Grand Prix from Belle Island. You're watching the iSplash Retro Kart League. No troubles here at the front for your race leader inside of his Big K Texaco Havoline. 06 machines. George Sandman putting the field to bed. It's lights out. Time to go night-night, boys. This man right here has not come to play. All about business here tonight at Belle Island. George Sandman going to take the pole position. He's going to lead every single lap so far here. 10 laps in the bag. We'll have 24 to go next time around. And Bruning may be thinking about possibly trying to pull a pit strategy move here. Losing a little bit of ground now. Further we go into this run, it looks like Bruning beginning to struggle with the pace and Sandman beginning to step away. What was under a 1-second advantage slowly grew to now almost 2.2 seconds. Bruning is losing time. And honestly, you know, losing some time to not just Sandman at the front, but losing some time to Johnny Hamby. What was almost a 5.5-second advantage for Bruning over Hamby, that has now dropped to 4.5. So let's see, do we see anything on timing and scoring? Maybe Bruning had a bad corner, or no, we're not seeing any indications of trouble on the track here tonight for Bruning, so just maybe losing a little bit on that long run pace side of things. Down into turn number 3, race leader George Sandman. There you can see him make his way by. Marcellus Bruning in tow. Johnny Hamby back in third. Cody Huntley in fourth. Fifth place belongs to Bill Smitham. As we continue to lay down these laps rather quickly here, drivers through turn number 6, everybody chasing after your race leader. We'll wait for him down here in turn 7. Any trouble? Yeah, looks like everybody going to make their way through so far, and there's a move by your race leader. He's going to move his way up and around. I do believe that may be Kim Quick in the 21 machine. Great run here tonight from the K. Martin Havoline, the Big K machine up front, showing the way. He's been fast since he's unloaded that Lotus 79 here at Belle Island. And with his luck right now, he might want to visit Motor City Casino right after tonight's race. Joe Walker in the 44. He's going to pull the pit lane this time around, so put Walker into the pit box. Just a handful of laps away from the halfway point. Will drivers pull some sort of strategy call here? I mean, Bruning, he lost a bit of ground. He's slowly gaining some of it back. Gap now back to under 1.5 seconds. So Bruning heading in the right direction, but is it going to be enough? Or as a crew chief, and this is where it gets tough being a crew chief in a car engineer or a strategist on a team, is how long do you gamble it? I mean, lap after lap. Last time around, Bruning was over 0.3 of a second faster than your race leader. A 1:21.08 turned in by Sandman, a 1:20.79 for Bruning. So he does have the pace in that Blonde Bullet 61 machine. Do you leave him out there to try to reel him in a little bit more? Or do you go ahead and call him down pit lane to get some fresh tires, some clean air, and really go to work on that gap? Is the undercut worth it here from Belle Island? And yeah, I'm always a fan of strategy. I mean, it's rather simple to say 35 laps, we're pitting on lap 16, and that's going to put us just about at the halfway marker. It'll be an even stint, even run. But I like those gamblers, those strategists that say, you know what, we're giving up this much time each lap. So what do you say we run it to here? We'll have fresh tires. We'll be able to eat into the gap that's out front because the drivers are staying out on older tires longer. We're right around that true undercut mark right here. 20 laps to go next time around. So, I mean, you're going to be right there, just about 4 to 5 laps away from a true halfway point. And if you're going to pull the undercut, you're going to have to do it here within the next 3 laps, I would say, in order for it to really show up and really work its magic. Faster once again, 0.2 faster, and taking the fast time in race trim. Marcellus Bruning going to move that 61 a little bit closer to the front, over 0.2 faster than your race leader last time around, but just unable really to pick up any time. We'll go high above the track here with the Turn 3 drone cam, giving you a little aerial view of what's going on around the track. You're looking down at race leader George Sandman. Your pole sitter has been in control of tonight's Grand Prix all night long. The Detroit Grand Prix has belonged to Sandman. Tell you what, we've got a handful of drones. So let's go back here with Christopher Hamlick, last driver on the lead lap, sitting in that 6th position Hamlin looking for fifth, has got a little bit of ground to make up in order to catch anybody up front. Will pit stops be where it is won or lost here tonight, or where those crucial, those extremely valuable championship points come from? Who's going to be able to conquer their fear, so to speak? Because at some point in time, you're going to have to throw a little bit of caution to the wind. You just can't continue to do what you're doing. You can't continue to try to play follow the leader. You're going to have to do something they ain't. You're going to have to run where they won't. We'll see who's willing to risk it for the biscuit here tonight from Belle Island. The Detroit Grand Prix well and underway. Thanks for joining us here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You're watching the iSplash Retro Kart League. Johnny Hamby in the 15 as we move a little closer to the cars. Whoa, almost into the outside of turn number 12. That could have ended the wrong way there for Hamby. Fortunate enough to keep it out of that left side tire barrier. He'll make his way around the few first corners and heading back down to turn number 3. There you can see darting to the right-hand side of your screen, Marcellus Bruning sits in second to 61. Now, just under 2 seconds back from Sandman as he starts to claw back into a racing dominant position. And pushing each other to the limits here tonight. Just about 2 laps ago, George Sandman going to regain the fastest lap of the race, a 1:20.13. Now the fast time for Sandman. So he's got the pole position, he's got the fastest lap, and he's closing in on the most laps led. So all the boxes are being checked tonight by your pole sitter, the man out front. Breathing easy here tonight from Belle Island, your race leader George Sandman looking to finish it off right where he started, right at the front. Breaking it down and breaking into the sub 1 minute 20-second mark. George Sandman going to go even quicker. It's like he heard us talking about it, and he's going to go almost 2 tenths faster, a 1:19.97. Now the fast time here. Man, that is blazing fast, man. Absolutely amazing laps here being turned in deep into the run. It looks like we've got a driver to pit road. Christopher Hamlin going to come to pit road this time around. He'll give up a spot on the lead lap, fall back to the 6th position as well as Smitham continues on the racetrack. Just at the halfway point. So what do you say we get to some official business? Let's give you some driver rundowns, your halfway report here from Belle Island. You're watching the Detroit Grand Prix. 11 drivers took to the starting grid. We have still got 7 out there on the track, but only 5 left on the lead lap. 55 of Bill Smitham up 3 positions from where he qualified tonight. Now rounding out your top 5. What a run, what a night here from Smitham. Let's take a look at the man himself. There he is out front. Nobody really to battle him behind. Nobody really in front for him to reel in. He's got quite a gap to try to make up, over 30 seconds back from fourth place runner inside of this 10 machine. Let's take a look at Cody Hundley, who runs in that fourth position, up one spot from where he qualified. So moving in the right direction, but unable to run down your race leaders at the front. Cody Hundley looks like he may have to settle for fourth. That's going to lead us into your podium drivers as they run with 15 to go, sitting in third inside of his familiar Scarlet Red RCA 15 machine. Johnny Hamby, previous race winner here in season number 2, dominating performance. And I believe, if my memory serves me correct, it was the last time we were turning left and right on another road course, a street course there at Long Beach. The Long Beach Grand Prix victory celebration was in hand for the 15. Looks like he's going to struggle to complete a repeat of road course wins. Hamby sits in third. Walking away with a win in Season 2's opening event there at Phoenix Raceway inside of his Blonde Bullet ABB 61 Lotus 79 machine. Marcellus Bruning looking to find a way to get back to victory lane, but losing some ground late in this green flag run. Bruning gonna settle for second for the moment. We'll see if there's an error or mistake out front by this man, your race leader. He's been on it all night long, unloaded for happy hour fast, was quickest in qualifying, snatched the pole position, started from the front row, has the fastest lap, and has led the most laps here tonight. If that's not a knockout of an evening or a clean sweep of events, I don't know what is. And it looks like some drivers starting to try to use that undercut now. Oh, a little bit of a dust flying there off of that left rear. The 06 going to have to be careful to keep the tires out of those outside barriers and end a stellar night early. But as we were saying, pit stops have begun. Marcellus Bruning, Johnny Hamby, they're going to pit from second and third, lose a position to Cody Hundley, who moves to second now. We'll keep our eye on this race leader. Does he go ahead and come to pit lane this time around? A little bit of connection issues there for Sandman. And although we do want to keep it here with your race leader, if the problems consist, we may have to go a different route. But out front right now, nobody around. What's he do this time around? He's going to bring it to pit lane. So a wise road course racing move right there. He's only going to stay out that one more lap, bring it immediately down to pit lane, try to minimize that total undercut that Bruning and Hamby are after. Pit road delta seems to be right around 31.5 to 33 seconds. As Cody Hundley got to stay out on the track, and he's going to put a lap lead in his back pocket. Sandman already out of pit lane. There you can see him off in the background, but he's already down and away and was able to keep himself out in front of Marcellus Bruning. So the undercut not working out there for Bruning or Hamby. Hundley with a great run here tonight, but unfortunately he's going to have to make at least one pit stop, and with just a 3.7 second advantage, he's going to lose quite a bit of time. It looks like may end up falling all the way back to the 5th position when he rejoins the racetrack. But Bill Smithman, the 55, right now running in 5th, final driver on the lead lap. He's yet to make his pit stop as well. So Smitham gonna probably be battling just to keep himself on the lead lap at the end of his green flag pit cycle. And yeah, once again, pit road delta for your pole sitter George Sandman. He's gonna put it down pit lane and back up to speed, 32.8 seconds. That's about a tenth slower than Marcellus Bruning, but the man with the best crew on pit road here so far, that has absolutely been Johnny Hamby. His crew going to have him stationary for just 6.6 seconds, almost a full second faster for the pit crew. And that's going to help his chances to try to run down Bruning for positions on the podium. Cody Hundley in command of this race after staying out on a long fuel run. You can see George Sandman, your poles that are just off in the background, just off in the distance, trying everything he can to get back up there and take the top spot away. We'll go high above here, above the driver's head. On board with Cody Hundley as he comes around the final few corners here. Down into turn number 12. Graham corner, he's going to clear it. And through the final kink in a long run down straight away to the start finish line. Let's ride with race leader Cody Hundley. And that is a lap around Belle Island with race leader who heads to pit road, and that's going to hand the front right back to this man right here. George Sandman walking away with the majority of the laps led, walking away with a big time gap now, 3.2 second advantage over Marcellus Bruning, who sits in second. Cody Hundley back to third, now drops to fourth. Will Bill Smitham be able to leapfrog him and grab that position away as well? I think our closest battle may end up being between those two drivers right there. May end up being between Hundley and Smitham, but Smitham struggling with some pace here. Hundley gonna have a good run down pit lane, and he's going to keep himself out front, and he's even going to gain on that because Smitham now heads to pit road. Smitham heading down pit road this time around, and that will complete your green flag pit stops. A race leader going to come around this time through the final few quarters and put us with less than 10 to go here. You're watching the Detroit Grand Prix. We'll jump around the track a little bit to some different camera shots as well. What do you say we go take a look off of the left-hand side here of Marcellus Bruning making his way around the track. Clean, good race here for Bruning, just off pace a little bit, and he's going to give up a little bit of time continually here. And it's a tough little run here for Bruning as he's continuing to try to run down race leader. There you can see your race leader closing in on the back of lap traffic. Will go on board here with race leader just on the left side of that nose cone, and that is the 82 of Christopher Hamlin, struggling all night here tonight from Belle Island. Just uncharacteristic of Hamlin, and he's going to lose a lap here. And looks like we have a little bit of troubles with the camera there on board with George Sandman, so we'll go back take a look at a handful of drivers here who's still out there or on track trouble tonight. Has found multiple Lotus drivers, multiple drivers out of tonight's race. Douglas Small, Liam Kerr, Austin Dabbs, Kim Quick, Joe Walker, all down and out of tonight's race. That's going to leave us with only 6 drivers left on track, but only 5 on the lead lap. And Bill Smitham, he is dangerously close to falling off of the lead lap. Battle on track, but not for position. Bruni going to make his way around with a fair amount of ease and see if there's somehow, some way, he can come up and pull 3.3 seconds out of a hat. He's going to have to be one heck of a magician to try to run down Sandman at the front, who has already made his way up and around Bill Smitham. So the 55 going to fall victim to a fast race leader and fall off of the lead lap into the 5th position. Marcellus Bruning closing in now, so Smitham still struggling with pace all night long. Tough little break here for that 55. Final driver on your podium here tonight. Let's take a look at this man, Johnny Hamby. It's been quite a quiet night, really, for Hamby. No splashes to be made, no real big moves made. Hasn't gained any positions throughout tonight's race. Started in 3rd, running in 3rd. Just a nice, solid, quiet night under the helmet of the driver sitting inside of that 15 machine. Tell you what, I do believe we've got that camera shot, and it is right there. It is. Just a nice easy day at the office. Turning left in right here, you can see the driver working the wheel. Just how much these wheels do move around Belle Island. Not a smooth race course by any means. This road course, it'll chatter your teeth a few times. There's definitely some characteristics in the track, or some character in the track, I should say. As we continue to take a little bit of a look here at Hamby, what a run this 15 is having. And again, it's not always about getting to victory. Well, who am I kidding? If you're a race car driver, it's all about getting to victory lane, and that's what it's all about, truly. But in the grand scheme of things, coming away with a podium finish, not necessarily a bad thing here. Going to keep them close, going to keep them in tow with Bruning, as both of these drivers running neck and neck in the overall point standings. We'll visit your overall point standings next week. Once we have a quarter of the way through the season going, we'll get a little bit more of a clear picture, a separation between some of the drivers in the point standings, and we'll begin to show you some of that official business in pre-race coming up next week when we hit the track with the iSplash Retro Kart League. While you're here, while we got your attention, go ahead and show these drivers some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy all of the great open wheel action. Show them some support. Hit that thumbs up button. You know you want to. It's right there. It's right there. Go on ahead. Oh, a little bit of a slide on the rear tires there for Hamby. Careful, careful. Don't want to throw this thing away at this point. A 10-second advantage for Hamby over Cody Hundley. So, unless there's big-time drama here, Hamby should be able to secure a spot on the podium in tonight's Detroit Grand Prix, live from Belle Island, right here in beautiful, sunny Michigan, just outside of Detroit, just across a little bit of the pond there. The aquarium over here at Belle Island, absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't had a chance to go, haven't had a chance to look at it, I do suggest all the fans out there listening, if you're up in the area, definitely take a look at that and definitely go support some of the small businesses around this area in downtown Detroit as well. Beautiful city. Despite what you may hear, Detroit absolutely a lovely place to visit. Got a lot of motorsports history up there in Detroit, so a lot to do, a lot to see, and a lot to be done. But while you're visiting the racetrack here with the Ice Splash Retro Kart League, George Sandman out front, just commanding tonight's race since unloading. Last time around was still 2/10 faster than second place runner Marcellus Bruning. So Sandman, even though we're down to just 5 laps remaining, he is not letting up one bit. Relentless pace here at the front will come by this time around. Lap number 31 will go on the board, and we've got just 4 to go. Great up close shot as race leader makes his way by screaming pace here tonight. What a run for George Sandman. He'll cross the line this time around and leave us with just 3 to go here from Belle Island. Final 3 laps remaining in the Detroit Grand Prix, and it looks like we are going to have yet another fresh face to victory lane. A little bit of connection issues there for Sandman, so we'll take a look right here with Bruning running in a solid second position. Started outside pole position, has continued to keep pace all night long relative to where his pace has been at, but just unable to really do anything with race leader at the front, George Sandman. You can see the timing scoring over there on the left-hand side of your screen, and yes, indeed, he's cut into the time. He's cut into the time earlier in tonight's race, but just not able to quite get there. He was in 3/10 of a second at one point, and then just began to lose some grip on the front tires. And from there fell back, and it's just been a little bit of a slide back. He'll get some time back and then just gives it up in a corner or two. Bruning just struggling to get back there and battle before that race lead. We'll come around this time by. Field going to receive the 2 flags. That's right. Popsicle sticks going to go on display for a race leader. Will cross the line. 2 to go here from Detroit. Back on board with Marcellus Bruning as he tries to run down your race leader down into turn number 3. Going to carry it wide, utilize a little bit of the rumble strips on the left-hand side. Trying to trace down the race leader George Sandman at the front through turn number 5 uphill, turn number 6 right-hander. Deceiving, you want to carry it out there towards that outside wall. Bruning keeping it nice and tight through the apex of the corner, back on the gas. Picks up a little bit of time there through turn number 6. It's not quite going to be enough. He's going to have to make up big chunks of time. Heavy underbraking, right-hand corner down here through a little bit of a carousel. The backstretch horseshoe into turn number 11. Hard right-hander once again. Down the short chute to turn number 12 we go. Race leader making his way through Graham Corner as we work our way through the final kink. Race leader going to bring us to the 1 to go this time around. White flag flies. Final lap. Out front, your race leader George Sandman has less than 14 corners remaining. right around that 2-mile mark for race leader inside of his Kmart. Texaco Havoline 06 machine showing out here tonight on the road course at Belle Island. The Detroit Grand Prix comes to a close. Cody Hundley gonna have trouble on the final lap, and Hundley gonna lose a position to Bill Smitham. Multiple laps down though is Christopher Hamlin, so he's not gonna lose that spot. Hundley will walk away with the final spot in the top 5, and here comes race leader looking for a checkered flag. Through turns number 11, coming right back at you. Into Graham Corner we go, makes his way through around for the final time. We come to the line, walking away with the checkered flag. Your race winner here with the Ice Splash Retro Card Series. Top of the speed charts all night long. Man inside of that 06 machine, he gets the job done. Walking away with the checkered flag. First time to victory lane. Fresh face once again. 4 races, 4 winners. George Sandman, your latest driver to sit on top of the podium. And as he enjoys his cool down lap, I hope you all enjoyed some great open wheel road course action here tonight, brought to you by Ice Splash. If you're looking for a great livery, you're looking for a great wrap for the iRacing.com platform, look no further than Ice Splash. Also, as always, big time shout out to Blonde Bullet Racing Comic. You can find it right there on Amazon.com. That's right, Blonde Bullet, a racing comic book created from, would you call it the brain trust? I don't know what you would. Created from the creative. Never mind. You know what I'm getting at. Marcellus Pruning, author, creator of the Blonde Bullet Racing comic book, right here in the field, owner of the Retro Card series. Great comic book available right there on Amazon.com. If you haven't checked it out, go on over there. Support a fellow iRacer. Support a fellow driver. Absolutely phenomenal comic book. And check it on out. Marcellus Pruning in the Blonde Bullet Racing comic book. Big time shout out to all of our sponsors here as we begin to wrap things up on tonight's event. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up and ready to go for your post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And backtrack side as promised at the conclusion of tonight's Detroit Grand Prix live here from Belle Island. And we're going to jump right into it. We're going to get right to your post race interview. So, what do you say we see if we can grab a few words before he makes his way away from the track? Let's run down there. Let's see if we can't get a few words with third place runner here tonight inside of that 15 machine. Johnny, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah, Dave, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good, my man. Can't complain. If it did, wouldn't matter, and who would listen? Man, a decent race for you here tonight. I know a little bit off pace, but still walking away with some great points here tonight. A third place finish early in the season, backing up a race win already this year. Where do you go from here?
Well, as far as this track, man, to me, this is one of those tracks where you were racing the track and not other people. It is so brutal. Just 35 laps around here is just, it almost, you're just seating your pants the whole time. We were just talking before you pulled me up, George. It's just like, man, my arms are killing me. It's just so bumpy. From here, I need to get better at ovals. I need to put a little more time into them. And I think I'll be fine on the road courses, even with George around. Marcellus is always going to be a threat. A couple other guys are fast. If I can consistently run top threes and maybe score another win or two, I'll be in good shape. But the ovals are where I struggle.
Yeah, I mean, you continue to have top threes, then I can guarantee you're gonna have yourself a shot at the season 2 championship. Still a long way to go here in season number 2, so nothing to be too overly concerned or worried about just quite yet. You've had some great finishes all season long here, Johnny. So again, congratulations on your third place showing here tonight from Belle Island. Before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Oh, just everybody involved with this. Marcellus for putting it on, you for doing a great broadcast, and my wife for letting me play.
All right, well, just like that, it's that simple, Johnny. Again, congratulations on your podium finish, and we'll see if we can't catch up with you when we hit the track next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, man.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words from Johnny Hamby. You heard it from the man himself. He'd like to clean up things on the oval side of the series. Pretty confident in his road course skills. His fans are pretty confident. And, well, I'm pretty confident of his skills as well. Johnny Hamby always fast when we hit the track. And that's going to move us right along. Let's see if we can't run just a little bit down pit lane and grab a few words with the man that walked away second here tonight. Marcellus, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, how you doing? How you feeling after a great showing and a fine run here tonight? Gonna walk away with that second position from Belle Island. In this course, it's something that it's a little tough, huh?
It's very bumpy, and you got to be on your game the whole time. And I got to take my hat off to George. He had a couple of small moments, but he caught it, and he was just faster. I had nothing for him. I was giving it all I got, and I was kind of going like, if we end up in the wall, we're going to end up in the wall. But I got to go after him, but I had nothing for him.
Now, this the second time we've visited a road course, Marcellus. Where do you think you're fitting in amongst the ranks of these I don't want to call them road course ringers because they're all super fast, whether we're road course racing or we're racing on the ovals. Where would you say you kind of rank yourself if you had to amongst some of these drivers in the series?
I would I would consider myself a top five driver. Johnny Hamby is extremely quick. I just don't think this Belle Isle trek suits him very well. And I mean everybody's got treks that suit them better or suit them worse. I think George is extremely fast. Obviously, he was right at home here, but we were talking just a few minutes ago, and he was also saying, this is so bumpy. You got to be on top of your game. Your force feedback is going to really work your arms on a track like this. That's for sure. But yeah, all in all, I'd say on road courses, I should be a top five driver.
Yeah, I mean you've shown that all throughout season number one, showing it through season number two here, and it's a common theme and pretty much common knowledge from any race car driver that happens to visit this. I mean, it's a fun track, it's a technical track, but it is definitely one that works you. You want to drive the track, and the track definitely makes you earn it at the end of the night. And Marcellus once again walking away with a great showing here tonight. Going to finish second on the board. Before we let you go and celebrate the weekend away, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody back home or at your shop?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you again for putting on a great show, Dave. I also want to thank the series sponsor, iSplash, for coming on board this season, and thank everybody for coming and racing with us. And once again, a shout out, hats off to George. He did a great job, and we hope to see you all again next week.
Well, always a pleasure to catch up with you in these post race interviews, Mark. And until next time, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Final few parting words for the man that started second. Gonna walk away second. Marcellus Bruning with another fine run, backing up his championship run in season number one. But here in season number two, we've got fresh face after fresh face to victory lane. We'll head down to the winner circle on top of the podium here tonight. Newcomer debut showing out. George, it's Dave. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, Dave. How are you doing?
I am doing good, my man, and you are doing absolutely great. I mean, you unloaded here tonight and were fast since you turned the machine on. You walked away with the pole position. You walked away with the most laps, led the fastest lap of the race, and to cap it off with a checkered flag. What could be sweeter?
Not much. I don't know. That sounds pretty good.
I tell you what, we've got some ice cream down here in the booth. I think that's about the only thing to do it, huh?
Yeah, ice cream, that'll do it.
Well, George, a fantastic run for you here tonight. It's been a common theme here in these podium interviews. Drivers talking about just how physical this track really is. Even when you're running well, it's still a physically exhausting track, not just mentally, but absolutely physical.
Yes, I agree. I am absolutely drenched. I have my force feedback's up really high. Plus, this track is so bumpy. It bounces your eyes around. It's fun. It is really fun to be, or it's that much of a challenge that makes it even more fun.
Well, George, we're going to look forward and we're going to ask you a little bit of well, it's an unknown question for us, obviously. First time you hit the track here on the road course. Uh, you coming back for the ovals? You a road course ringer? What's your outlook on the rest of season number two here?
I'm pretty much a road course driver, but I am learning some oval stuff. I've ran on them before, and I'm going to try to see if I can make as many as I can. It conflicts with some of my work schedule, so I have to like get off work and rush and turn the computer on and stuff to get here. So there's a couple days I can't make it, so but I will try to make as many as I can.
All right. Well, we hope to see you back on the track multiple times here in season number two. I think you're going to be, I don't want to call you a dark horse since we're standing in victory lane here, but I think you may be one of the drivers to look out for you. I mean, obviously on the road course, you had a ton of pace here. Can't wait to see you get back on the track. Can't wait to see if we can't back this up with another race winning post race interview. I mean, George, where do you go from here? I mean, are we gonna? You already answered, hit and miss with your scheduling with work, which is completely understandable. But where do you go from here as far as the road courses? I mean, if you don't get to victory lane next time you hit the track on the road course, are you gonna be disappointed at all with the way you just kind of came out the gates?
No, 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 no. I took some time off away from sim racing for a little while, and I'm just trying to get back into it. So this was definitely uh, give me a boost. So you'll definitely see me around those races. I'm gonna try to get as many as I can.
All right, all right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that happen, and hopefully we get to talk to you once again in these post-race interviews, man. Again, congratulations on an absolutely lights-out, dominating performance here tonight in the Detroit Grand Prix. So before we let you go and celebrate the rest of the night away and go jump over there in the lake, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home or at the shop?
Well, yeah, I thank my wife for supporting the sim racing, but I'd like to thank you for putting on such a great broadcast, and also Mark for setting up this series, and all the guys that race in it. Everybody's been great.
All right. Well, George, again, congratulations on your first win here in the Ice Splash Retro Card Series. First of what I believe is going to be many more to come. Until we meet again, until I can catch up with you trackside again, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right, you too, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the man. You might as well said he was in Ohio here tonight, because he drove away from everybody. George Sandman gonna put the kids to bed and walk away with a dominating performance. Checkered flag in hand for the 06 Texaco Havoline Kmart machine. What a run here tonight for Sandman. Absolutely lights out in every aspect, and that's going to do it for us here tonight from Belle Island. As producers already hitting those buttons, you can hear those sounds in the background. You know it's time for us to run down tonight's unofficial race results in the Detroit Grand Prix, walking away with his first checkered flag debut race, and he puts it on the point. The 06 of George Sandman going to walk away with the race lead. Marcellus Bruning finishes in second, right where he qualified. Johnny Hamby going to round out the podium tonight in his RCA 15 machine. Bill Smitham gonna pilot the 55 home to fourth, rounding out your top five tonight. The 10 of Cody Hundley. Christopher Hamlin going to have a little bit of struggles on pace here tonight in his 82 target machine. Hamlin finishes in sixth. Seventh place belongs to Joe Walker, with Kim Quick walking away in eighth. Austin Dabbs back in ninth. Liam Kerr finishes out your top 10 tonight, with Douglas Small bringing up the tail end of the field, the 11 car field for tonight's race. What a night, what a race. Open wheel action at its finest. If you haven't already, race fans, you know you want to show these guys some love and appreciation. Let them know you enjoy what they put out week in, week out, every Friday night right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. So go ahead and join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Drop these drivers that thumbs up. Click subscribe. Smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back at the headquarters. We appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and we'll meet you in Turn 3.